Hey, 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 hey. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a Legacy of Love Ministry. Listen, you guys, come on and give me a thumbs up, a thumbs down. Please like, tag, and share this information. I would first like to say that I do not own the copyrights to the music that is playing in the background. And secondly, I would like to say that all three of my books are still available for ordering. My first book is a prayer journal for widows and widows only. If you see the red button at the top left corner, then that means that I'm live. If you don't see it, that means you're catching the replay. Please leave a response that you've stopped by my channel today, okay? Again, I do not own the copyrights to the music playing in the background. I also would like to say that I am not a paralegal. I'm not a lawyer. I am just simply someone that God has put on assignment to educate and inform people the importance of getting their affairs in order before and after loss. Okay, so the first book that I have is a prayer journal. It's a 31-day prayer journal. It's God's Love for the Grieving Widow. I also have a YouTube page. It's called God's Love for the Grieving Widow. It's not for widows only. It's for everybody. So please share the information. Again, this journal is a 31-day prayer journal for widows only. Yeah, because a lot of times people say, you know what, I ordered your book, and I feel bad when they've ordered the actual widow's journal and they're not a widow, or so remember that this is for widows. So if you know a widow, bless her with this 31-day prayer journal. My second book is There is Beauty in My Brokenness. Now this book here is my heart as well. It's telling the story of what happened to my late husband of 34 years of marriage, from when we met until death did us part. It tells the whole story of how we met, and then and also how death did us part. Okay, again, there is beauty in my brokenness. My third book is No One Plans to Fail, but Many Fail to Plan. With divine direction and connection. And let me tell you guys about this one here. This one is my heart as well. All of them are my heart because I poured out my heart with all of them, trying to get the information that I had learned and experienced, and knowing that I did not want anybody else to experience what I have been experiencing, even in the death. But we know that we all have an appointed time with death, right? So we all will experience death at some time, unless we tarry until God comes back to get us, right? And so this one tells the story of me going through probate and different things like that. Let me give you a little background of why I ended up in probate. Well, me and my husband had just purchased our home, and when we purchased our home, we did not qualify for the home had he added me to the home. And so that caused us to, the underwriter kind of wrote it up, kind of not informing, giving you the information that should have been given to me, right? And so I found myself in probate after losing my husband unexpectedly, and my name not being on our property. And so I found myself before the judge several times, explaining to him and not understanding why did he give me such a hard time in getting my name on the home. And so this book tells the whole story of everything that I went through from the time I lost him to now. And still going through some things because he did not have my name on some things. And so I am still fighting 4.5 years later for things that, could have been prevented. But nevertheless, I do understand that this is a mission, and the journey for my life and this season of my life right now is to inform and educate people the importance of getting their affairs in order and together before and after loss. And so as I was praying before I came on, I kept feeling like I was impressed to say this, to speak to the widows and the widowers, or those of you that may have had loss. Don't try to make quick decisions too quick. I was talking to someone, and I believe they said that they sold their house like the first 6 days after their spouse passed away. And so what happens is we're not in our right frame of mind, and so we make decisions that we wish we wouldn't have made later down the line. It could be as far as doing the service, making plans for the service, different things like that. We just are not in our right frame of mind, and so we do things that we probably should not have done, or we wish we wouldn't have done. We would have done it a different way. But it's because, the loss, the grief is so heavy that you make decisions that you wouldn't have made. And so that's why I come on each Sunday after Sunday to educate and to inform you the importance of getting your affairs in order and together before the loss happens. And so don't look at it kind of like, I think I thought this, right? My former bishop, he walks in faith still today, right? And so I've seen his dad pass away in front of me at least twice, right? And so, came back. So the way he taught us was that we would live this promised life at least until 70. And so I felt like if I put the word on the Lord, the prayers that I prayed, that they would be, that my family was pretty much untouchable. And so I felt like, okay, I serve God, I do, the best that I can do as a daughter of God. And so I felt like my family, again, was untouchable. And so there were some things that had happened in my family that was able to be some hurdles that we got over. But at the same time, with losing my brother, losing my dad, and then losing my husband, it was like all the men in my life that was so significant in my life are gone. And that's, really hurtful. So think about this. Don't make no decisions right away. And now I've spoken to a couple of widows here recently that are newly widows. And so I believe this is just something for you guys to hear, is to not make no decisions quickly or hastily. Make decisions that you will probably regret later. I know sometimes we try to get things out of the house, and I don't know if I want to say I'm guilty to that or what, but I have not moved my husband's things out of the house, and that's just me. But it's nothing wrong if you do it, but when you're making decisions, it's wise to just wait a little while. So I waited a little while before I actually went into that probate, because I didn't know which direction to go in or what to do. And I was truly, this time I would say was the first time that I really, 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 really waited on the Lord, to hear from the Lord, to hear what was the next move, what to do next, because I was so afraid that I was going to lose my home, because I knew we had just purchased our home. It had only been 2.5 years, and I knew that the bank had the rights to pull the loan from me, because they didn't do the loan with me, and so they had every right. In the clause that my husband, the paperwork that he filled out, it says that they can actually pull the loan from you because you're not the person that they did the loan with. And so I was so afraid to make a move, and then I was just trying to ask different people, like, what can I do? I knew I couldn't afford to do the probate, and so I couldn't afford to pay a lawyer. So I was just like, Lord, I'm going to wait on you. I'm going to wait for you to tell me what to do, because I know I don't have the money. I was not afraid of the judge as much as I was afraid of the bank. And again, that's because I knew they could have pulled the loan from me. So if you've experienced just now losing your husband, and sometimes we get in a frantic and we want to call the bank and we want to go to the bank and we want to start telling them, oh, well, my spouse passed away, and we're in a panic state at that time. And so we're kind of thinking like they're not thinking like we're thinking. So we're kind of thinking like they should have sympathy on us, for us, because of what we've just experienced. But they don't. They're just going to end up locking your bank account up. So if you're a newly widow or widower, or if you're on somebody's account that has passed away, it may be a parent. I know some of you on here may have children that you live with, and children that handles your bills and things like that. You want to make sure, if that person has passed away, don't go running your mouth to nobody. Just kind of wait it out a little bit, because you can't do anything anyway until you get the death certificate. And once you get the death certificate, then you can take it in. But if you have family members that are bickering and fighting and things like that, then it makes it complicated, and they will lock that bank account. If you find yourself not having that trust and they have to be faced with probate, then that's when you can't have any access to that bank account. If it was, like, say for instance, my husband, it was his bank account. And so had I had liquidated the money before I actually started my court proceeds. So if I had waited, then it would have been locked up until after the probate was completed, which it took me almost 2 years to do that. So can you imagine if your money, the income that is coming in that account, and they have froze